Hello, welcome to this episode of Hypnotist Bernie's Exposition. I'm Hypnotist Bernie. I'm the host of Hypnotist Bernie's Exposition. So every once in a while we got nobody on our show. And for those of you who have been watching me for a while, when I say nobody on the show, that means me, right? So whenever we don't have a guest, what we do here is called point of view hypnosis. That means I'm going to hypnotize all of you who's watching this show. Surprisingly, it is the most popular format so far. I would have guessed otherwise, but thank you for all your support, and we're going to have a good time tonight. So, by the way, Happy New Year. This is the first show of 2010. I want to thank everybody for their support. This show has been on the air since 2006, so technically, well, literally, this is the 4th year of our show. Thank you very much for all your support. So, for the new year, lots of people make New Year's resolution. I guess it's hard to guess what your New Year resolution is. But what we can do here is a generalized self-hypnosis show, self-hypnosis session. So I want you to just focus on what would you like to accomplish in the year 2010 and beyond. It could be something for your career, it could be something for your health, it could be something for your romantic life. It could be anything. But whatever it is, just find something really specific to focus on just for tonight's session. If you have something really ambitious, really fast, really encompassing, put that aside for a while. If your plan is to conquer the world, pick a country first. If your plan is to have a lot of women, pick one to start with. If your plan is to eat all the food in the world, or all the chocolates in the world, or all the best Chinese food in the world, just start with one plate, all right? It works best if you have one single thing to focus on. What I've found is that a lot of people is having a hard time to achieve their goals because they have too many goals going in all different directions, and they end up going nowhere. A loose analogy would be like this. If you want to visit New York and Montreal, it's hard to visit and drive to both cities and the same drive. So pick one city, go there first, and then go to another city. And on your way to visiting one city, your chances that you'll probably find something that you enjoy that are similar to both cities. And on your way to one city, you're going to learn things that you can apply to another city. So it is all good in the intention of achieving that goal. Now, let's put this in more practical example, right? Let's say your New Year resolution is to lose weight. Well, we'll go back into the whole word of losing weight in a minute. That in itself is a logical problem. But we go back into the whole term of losing weight, right? Let's say your intention is to lose weight, and there's a lot of things that you need to do, right? You need to exercise more. You may want to eat less sweet food, or there are some fast food restaurant you would like to visit less, or if you do go back to those fast food restaurants, maybe you want to order a salad or something. Now, the good thing is, all you have to do is focus on one thing, and it's going to move the chain, right? If you go to the fast food restaurant and you order salad, right, that is going to start a whole chain of reaction that at the end is going to help you go to the gym anyways, because you feel light and you feel fresh and you feel energized. That will up your chance of going to the gym to start with. And when you go to the gym more, you're going to see better results, and you can go back to the fast food joint or whatever joint that you go to and order more salad, or stop going there altogether and just buy vegetables, right? I know that is exactly what you need to do, because that is what I need to do too. So just find one thing to focus on. So I've talked about health, right? Just picture one thing you need to do. Something that you can actually do tonight or tomorrow. 20 push-ups, or go walk for 20 minutes, or if you're more athletic, jog. Well, this is like 8 at night, right? Well, jog tomorrow morning, and have something that you can act on immediately. Let's say you cannot do push-ups immediately, or you cannot go run right now. At least have your gym shoes, your running shoes, your workout attire, your sweater, your track pants, all laid out, and set your alarm clock for, I don't know what time you should wake up to run. Some people wake up at 5, some people wake up at 6, but chances are you probably need to wake up an hour earlier. So set your alarm clock tonight or right now. So something that you can take action immediately, or else it's going to be one of those things that you wish you would have done in the year 2010. And just focus on that one thing. Again, if you're running every morning, then you have a lot more energy to keep on running, and all good things is going to happen. If your plan is to, a lot of people have talked about having a better financial year. I guess the key here is, there's a lot of talk about the bad economy, but the more important part is, if you just take care of your finances better, and if your head is more clear, if you become more organized in your receipts and in your personal accounting, then all things are going to look brighter. So just find this one thing that you have always wanted to do, you have always needed to do, to help you better your financial life, and just focus on that one thing. The key here is, especially with New Year resolution here, is start small but think big, right? So I'll give you about 30 seconds. Just come up with one thing that you can really visualize yourself doing. See yourself doing it. Imagine yourself doing it, and as you are doing so, you can hear the sound of yourself doing it, all the positive energy that is flowing through you as you do that. And just fully engage. Imagine yourself fully engaging in that activity right now. Okay. Now, what we're about to do right now is hypnosis. For those of you who have been following this program for a while, you will know that hypnosis is absolutely crazy. I make people jump up and down, dancing like chicken and monkey together, meowing like dogs and cats. That's what we do here. No, seriously. So for those of you who have been doing this for a while, you know how good it feels. But for those of you who have not done this before, don't worry, you can choose to participate the way you want, or you can just open your eyes and just see what we're up to, and then follow this program again at 3:30 in the morning. I know a lot of you like to stay up until 3 or 3:30 in the morning to watch this program. Yep, that's what we do. Alternatively, you can find this program on YouTube. If you look up Hypnotist Bernie on YouTube, you can easily find my face, and that's right here. You can't miss it. If you just look up Hypnosis on YouTube, you cannot at all miss me. All right. So, okay. So the same spiel. If you have been hypnotized before, you will know how good it feels. for those of you who have not been hypnotized before, and want to, knowing that hypnosis is not going to make you unconscious in any way, you are going to feel alert would be the good word, and content. You'll still be aware. I think aware is a better word. You'll still be aware of what's happening around you. You'll still be aware of all the sound and the motions around you. You will just, tend to care less about it all as you focus on the sound of my voice. So if there's an emergency that happens, you'll find it very easily. Be able to snap yourself awake, become fully aware, and deal with that emergency. I would not do anything to hurt you in any ways. I just need your cooperation and understand that a lot of people do not go into hypnosis or say that they cannot be hypnotized, and I'm talking about people that are genuinely trying, right? Of course, if you don't want to do this, it's very hard to make you do it, just like anything else. Well, the analogy I've always been giving to people is that, it's like a tour guide. I can take you to Paris, but I can't make you enjoy it. If you refuse to get off the bus, if you refuse to, get off the airplane or just stay in the hotel all the time, I can't make you go see the Eiffel Tower or have the French food, right, or whatever. You have to cooperate in some way. But a lot of cooperating people would sometimes say that they are not hypnotized or they cannot be hypnotized or something like that. Partly because they think that hypnosis is some kind of anesthetic. It could be, but it does not produce a coma kind of feeling for them. And B, more importantly, a lot of people does not go into hypnosis or find their experience, or say that they don't go deep into hypnosis because they try too hard to go into hypnosis. It's like when you try to go to sleep at night, or if you have difficulty falling asleep, the harder you try to go to sleep, the harder it is for you to fall asleep, right? So the best way of doing this is to just let go, listen to the sound of my voice. At some point, you may not be able to make out all the words that I'm saying to you. That's fine. That is a sign that you're going into hypnosis. You can still hear the sound of my voice, and you don't have to actively try to make out every word, because as you do, you're engaging your conscious mind. What we want you to do is to engage your unconscious mind. It will feel like my words are drifting in and out of your mind. It will feel like you are drifting in and out, kind of like just before you fall asleep. And it is very content, relaxed kind of feelings. So, any questions? No questions? All right, so we have about 12 minutes, 10 minutes. All right, so due to popular demand, a lot of people have asked me to use pocket watch to hypnotize people. I think I've done this before, about 2 or 3 years ago. I haven't done this in a while. But for those of you who want to participate, you can just focus your attention on the springing motion of this pocket watch. And for those of you who prefer to close your eyes right now, you can do so. And watch it goes back and forth, and back and forth, and back and forth. Soon, your eyes will become very watery. Your eyelids will become very, very heavy. That's right. And soon, you'll find that your eyelids become so heavy, they will become too strainful for you to keep your eyes open. That is perfectly fine. When your eyes become too heavy, too tired and too watery to stay open, you can just close your eyes and let yourself rest and let yourself drift. As I count backwards from 10 to 1, when you reach the number 1, you can just close your eyes and let yourself drift. That's right. 10. Still watching my pocket watch, going back and forth, back and forth. With your eyes open, or with your eyes closed, you can still imagine yourself on a very calm and peaceful place. For those of you who have done this before, you can go back to that warm, comfortable place that you find yourself going back every time go into hypnosis. That's right. That warm, sunny place. It could be on a calm, quiet beach where you can feel the warm ray of the sun on the tip of your nose. 9, 8, 7. That's right. With your eyes open or your eyes closed, you can see yourself in this calm, quiet beach. You can see everything in all its vivid details, in all the colors. That's right. 5, 4, 3. Feel your eyes getting very heavy. Very, very heavy. That's right. Whenever you're ready, you can just let your eyes close and let your mind drift. That's right. You're doing so good. You're such a good hypnosis subject. That's right. 3, 2, 1. Close your eyes. That's right. Just close your eyes and sleep now. That's right. Just allow yourself to sink deeply into the softness of the chair. That's right. Take a moment to enjoy this wave of calm, quiet relaxation. Just flow from the top of your head, down to your shoulders, down your back, all the way down your leg, to the tip of your toes. That's right. And just let yourself sink into the softness of this chair. That's right. Let yourself drift and float and float and drift along with the sound of my voice. That's right. Feeling so good. I'm going to count backwards from 5 to 1. With each number you hear, you can allow yourself to relax twice as much. You can let your mind float twice as easily, and let your body sink twice as deeply into the softness of the chair. With each number I count, 5, 4, 3. Good. 2, relax, let go. 1, sleep now. That's right, sleep now. That's right. And just take this moment. Take this moment to just enjoy yourself in this space. This calm, quiet space in your mind. knowing you can always come back to this space wherever you want, wherever you desire. And feel yourself being enveloped in a ray of white light. Feel this white light surrounding you, surrounding your face, your shoulder, cocooning your fingers, your waist, your chest, your back, and your legs. And feel this wave of light taking away all your worries, all your stress, any negative energy and emotions. Let them fade away. Let them fade away right now. That's right. That's right. Now I want you to picture yourself accomplishing the goals that you set up for yourself a minute ago. See yourself accomplishing these goals. See yourself in all the vivid details, all the colors, all the details, all the lights, and hear all the sound, and feel all the joy and delight as you accomplish these goals. These goals will happen to you, and you can accomplish them effortlessly and easily. Feel all the obstacles have melted away. That's right. That's right. As you see yourself accomplishing these goals, you find yourself having a new sense of confidence, a new sense of mental strength, a new sense of self-esteem. Knowing that whatever happened in the past could stay in the past, and they no longer need to be a baggage for your emotions, your thoughts, and your behavior. As you let them go, you step into this new image of you. This new image of you who is always successful. This new image of you who is highly motivated, highly focused, and highly energized. See yourself having this new sense of confidence, this energy, this mental strength to pursue anything that you want to pursue in this new year and beyond. And taking this energy all the way forward into the year 2010. Finding yourself connecting with all the positive energy in the universe, with all the abundance, with all the life, with all the light. That's right. That's right. That's right. You're doing so good. Now in a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 10. When I reach the number 10, you can come back to this room, feeling fully refreshed, fully alive, fully energized. Feeling like you've just slept for the last 12 hours, full of energy. Have a big smile on your face. That's right. 1, 2, 3. Becoming more and more aware of your surrounding. That's right. 4, 5. 6, 7, 8. Take a deep breath in. 9. Whenever you're ready. 10. Welcome back. Feels good, doesn't it? This is how it feels like to be hypnotized. Thank you for joining me tonight. This is Hypnotist Bernie. Join us next week, Tuesday night, 7:30, on CCTV, Channel 9, Cambridge.